Hey guys, I hope you are fine. As you know, that election campaign is going on in USA, and both the candidates, Mr. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they are discussing major world conflicts in their speeches. So I thought, why not we talk about international law today? And in the last video, I remember we did discuss Morgenthau a bit. He was one of those political scientists who laid the foundation of classical realism. And he also wrote extensively on how the international law operates and its various deficiencies, etc. So let's jump in and see what is wrong with the international law, or how we can improve its working. At first, Morgenthau believed that the existence and operation of the international law, it depends on two major factors. At the first factor, he stated that the interests of the states should be identical or complementary. And the second major factor for international law to exist and to operate it is the distribution of power among states. And Morgenthau also believed that for any legal system, there are various legal systems in various countries. For example, in China, there is a different legal system than what is implemented in USA. So he believed that in order for any legal system to work or to function, the three things must be fulfilled. The first is the legislation, the second is the adjudication, and the third one is the enforcement. And moving forward, Morgenthau also talks about the decentralized character of the legislative function of international law. Means there are no legislators to create law. And many matters bearing international relations are not regulated by international law. For example, immigration. And also, there is a lot of confusion as far as international law is concerned. We see that there is a lot of confusion when it comes to fishing rights between various states, or the claim of the continental shelf, or the sea principle, the famous 3 mile principle of the sea. It is so most of the states, they agree with the 3 mile principle of the sea, whereas Finland and Norway, they claim a breadth of 4 miles. So you see how various states interpret international law in various ways. Moving forward, Morgenthau also believed that he also believed that the international law is deficient in all the three fundamentals of the effective judicial system. There is no effective compulsory jurisdiction. There is no hierarchical judicial decisions in the international law. And there is no finality of the decisions. For example, if any international court finalizes a decision, then ideally that decision should be final, but there is no finality. States are not putting any ear to the decisions finalized by international courts or any other international authority, or any other international organization who is responsible for some international affair. So we see no hierarchical judicial decisions, there is no finality, and there is no compulsory jurisdiction. Even if some international court or international organization comes to a decision, there is no effective compulsory jurisdiction. And furthermore, Morgenthau talks about the fact that there is no central organ for enforcement of international law. For example, if some international court or international organization finalizes a decision, then who is going to enforce that decision? Because states are not capable of enforcing that decision. For example, if some international court gives a decision which is against China, which is a major power in the world right now, then who is going to enforce that? Or which authority is going to enforce that? So there is a drawback of enforcement, which is a major drawback in the international law. And he also believed that the sole source of jurisdiction of international law is the will of the states. Means international law exists as long as states are willing to implement those international guidelines. If there is no will of the state, for example, in most of the things decided by international courts or international organizations, major powers, or we commonly call them superpowers, they do not agree with those decisions and they do not implement those decisions. So will of the states, it matters a lot, and this leads to a number of questions. For example, are the interests of the states identical? Do you think that the interests of the United States or China or Japan or any other major superpower can be identical? And can United Nations be the centralized body of enforcement for international law? I don't think so. What do you think? Let me know in comments. And if international law cannot be adjudicated, enforced, and legislated, then what is the purpose of states running to international courts or running to international organizations? And if will of the states has to be maintained, then why waste time of billions of people looking towards their states to get their matters solved? So I want you to give me answer in comments about what do you think of all this discussion. And do you think that major conflicts in the world can be solved by international law? Do you think that there will be a time when states will create an enforcement authority to implement international law? Do you believe that superpowers like China and Russia are willing to let go of their interests? Do you think that states can have complementary interests? And can an individual play any role to solve major world conflicts? Please subscribe and to support our channel. Till we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.